Hope we got volume. Are you on Do Not Disturb?
All I can say is I hope so. I don't think I can check.
Okay.
Let's see if I can check. All right. I was just trying to look to see if we're on Do Not Disturb, and I forgot to check. Keep our fingers crossed, guys.
Yes, let's hope that guy don't call about our car insurance warranty being expired.
All right. Welcome back to Training Well Burros. We're so glad that you're here with us. And today we're going to be talking about your donkey, like maybe it listens to one person but not the other.
Yes.
That comes up quite a bit, actually. So that's going to be our topic. So welcome back. We are happy whether you're in here, you're just watching quietly, or you are sharing your experiences, asking questions. We appreciate all of you being here with us.
Very much so. Deeply appreciated.
Now, we also want to do a special thank you to all of our new members. You guys make this like so possible. We have our most basic membership is I just changed the name of it, trying to come up with something that's cool. Burro Buddy, I think is what I called it. And that one there is just supporting the herd. It's helping us pull off these go lives or, bringing home new donkeys. And Dan's getting ready to do a trip here on Tuesday. He's leaving to Delta, Utah.
Yes, we're going to try and dodge and weave some Rocky Mountain snowstorms and go bring home some more furry little friends, about 10 more.
Yeah. Now that we're a branded adoption center, you guys can come here and pick them out totally unhandled, or we can tip train, or it used to be called the tip program, but now it's a branded partner. So
Yep.
we can
gentle them for you. So they can be haltered and led, brushed, have their feet picked up, and we'll load in the trailer.
Absolutely. So there's options now when you decide to bring them home, and we're in Montana. So if you want to come check out the donkeys, and we'll be posting pictures and stuff as we get them, and heck yeah.
Yes.
So today's topic then is about your donkey, like listening to one person but not the other. And this is something I've been actually like putting together my thoughts on later on, not today, but later on we'll talk about kids and whether or not donkeys are good for kids or not. Now, one thing that donkeys really need and appreciate and respond well to is being offered a good deal. So if I were to just grab Dan and be like, come on, he'd be like, gosh, you're being a jerk, right?
Try thought.
But if I'm like, hey, like get his attention first and then ask him to come with me, he's going to be pretty darn willing. And the same thing is true for the donkeys. Now, sometimes we're working with them and we think we're offering them a good deal, but we're not.
Yeah, it's a good deal for us. Might not be a good deal for the donkey. And donkeys are smart. They know a good deal.
They are so smart.
And they know a bad deal.
So what does it mean to offer a good deal? What does it mean to you?
Would be some sort of an immediate reward, whether it would be a lack of pressure or a release, for turning their head, picking up a foot, doing whatever you're asking them to do. Getting something in return for answering the question or attempting to answer the question.
So to me, offering them a good deal is probably a little bit different. For me, offering them a good deal is offering a gesture of what I want. There's no pressure. It's like Dan, and then getting him to look at me. So it's like even before I've asked any questions.
Okay.
Maybe not before I've asked a question, because like if I put my hand out, I'm saying I want you to put your foot there, right? But putting my hand out where I want the foot to go, that's like a gesture of asking them to do something. And the immediate reward would come when they do it and I take off the pressure.
Yep.
So let's see. So with the lead rope, it would be putting your hand where you want their foot to go. When you're in saddle, it's the same thing. You put your rein where you want their foot to go. Pay. They also, I think they appreciate understanding that they have found the right answer, because then they're going to keep trying for you. So like today we were deworming the 2-acre animals and they were hungry. They hadn't been fed breakfast yet. And when I went down there, I'm calling for them and honk and holler and hoot and Seamus, they were all there. And when I called them, guess who came right away? Seamus. He's like, hey, there's my mom, and here I come. And he's happy to come. But the other ones were like, I want food. Like they're looking for their reward. But when they came to me, I did give them a reward to help. But Seamus was straight away. But Seamus has been there and done that. We've had him for a long time, where the other ones are newer. We've only had him for like, what,
Yep.
Honk for 2 years?
I think it's about 2 years right now. Yeah. Is it 2 or is it 3? Not 2.
I think it's 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, and donkeys are, I think they're slower than horses, and it depends on how consistent we are. So, consistent as far as always offering them a good deal, but also consistent with the interactions. With us doing so many wilds, ours don't get as much attention as I'd like them to get.
Right?
So, consistency has to do with how we interact while we're with them, as well as how often. With our kids, like when Seamus was or when Thomas was riding, Seamus versus like Caleb, one of them would have loose reins all the time, and then the other one would have tight reins all the time. And Seamus appreciates those loose reins. So then we're offering them a good deal because we're not pulling on them or having something tight, whether it's your lead rope or your reins, keeping everything loose. It's kind of like working with them as a team instead of being a dictator.
Yeah. Yep.
Now, another thing we want to talk about is like the motivation part of all this, right? So, right now the days are short and they're cold. We like to have warm clothes on. My Stormy Crime hat, I wear it all the time. This one is the Rancher, so it pulls down, really covers up my ears well. You almost always wear your Filson outside.
Yeah.
Another thing, so staying warm is a big deal, but another thing would be like accountability. So like, are you meeting up with a friend, whether in person or on the phone? Maybe your accountability is coming to these go lives or watching videos. Like, what are you doing to be accountable? And being accountable, I think it helps stay motivated. Like, if you're planning out a hunting trip, like you are constantly like researching, studying maps, and it's totally keeping what your goal is on your mind.
Yep.
Oh, and then I had just made a note about when we're focused on our goals, it's kind of helping them stay at the forefront of our mind while we're doing stuff.
We started off asking the question, why does your donkey do things differently for different people?
Do you have more to add to it?
No, but let's talk about it some more.
All right. So being offered a good deal is a big, big part of that. And then releasing the pressure when they get the answer right. Now, sometimes somebody doesn't understand how to offer a good deal or to release that pressure so that your donkey knows that they found the right answer. Being clear with our communication is probably the biggest thing.
Yeah. Clear communication. Make it easy for them to do the right thing. And so there's a good deal. You don't have to sit and flap flag around and be high energy in order to accomplish a task. The good deal is make it easy for them to do the right thing.
And when we're detouring a behavior, if we're trying to alter a behavior, one of my coaching students was having trouble with her donkey, like running up, kind of acting like it was going to bite her, is her perception of everything. And the donkey just wanted to play is what it wanted to do. So she had to go in with a flag because whether or not that donkey wanted to play or not, they cannot play with us the way they play with other donkeys. That would be
Right.
just downright dangerous. So she needed to be with a flag to be clear that, no, you cannot treat me like you would another donkey or a horse. And once she could make that expectation really clear to her donkey, things got really nice for her.
Was that a case? Was that an only donkey?
That one was the only donkey, yeah.
And I think it was, they'd picked it up, if I recall right, correct me if I'm wrong. It was like a young weanling or a bottle baby or something like that.
It didn't have a lot of like experience with other
Right.
donkeys, and it was with horses, which they're equine, right? But we watch it time and time again that the donkeys appreciate being with other donkeys.
Yes.
We had Seamus and Holler out with in the south pasture where we have all the donkeys, or pardon me, the mules and the horses. And they were fine out there. There was 2 donkeys, so they should be good, right? But then today we moved those 2 in with the rest of the donkeys. Really enjoying these regular live videos. I am so glad. Thank you for being here with us. So we moved Seamus and Holler in to the donkey pasture, and right away, Seamus and Holler were like running around, being all excited and happy and kicking up their heels and being silly.
Yeah, they went from being just fine, hanging out with the mules and horses in the other pasture, to when we put them in the donkey pasture, was just a big. We got we got a
But too young.
2 juvenile mammoth jennies, then big honk,
Mm-hmm.
and ah, which is she's wild but almost mammoth. It's a pretty tight knit group over there. But Seamus and Holler are the ones who got moved over there. They had been in a different pasture for about a month. Yeah, the bucking and screwing around and running and just the euphoric enthusiasm of a big herd of donkeys. They acted differently in the donkey pasture than they did in the horse and mule pasture. It's I don't know all the psychology, but it was definitely there. That's a cheerful group of donkeys over there.
Right. So having another donkey friend is always going to be good for your donkeys. But like this person, my coaching student, she was afraid to go in the pen with her donkey because it wanted to play with her so bad. It would be running up to her, kind of acting like maybe it might bite her. I think it would kind of nip at her a little bit. And when I would watch the videos that she sent me, and that's part of my coaching that I offer, it was clear that that donkey, it wasn't trying to be aggressive. It was trying to play with her. And so we made it clear on how she could communicate what the expectations were. And now she can go in her pen to feed, and she's not worried at all. Rhonda says, when my donkey did that, I would turn a little and say, be nice. Then I would put my hand out and say space. Now she comes up too quickly. I just say space and she stops. They do learn that really quick.
They do, yeah.
But
Yep.
we have to be clear with what we want. And if we're like, Biscuit, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that, they just tune us out. So we got to
Yeah.
be kind of more abrupt.
But Rhonda did great, clear communication.
Yeah.
The handout and space, and they don't want to be bad.
No, they
No,
want
they
to
don't.
be good.
They want to be good. And so doing the courtesy of communicating clearly, like you did, Rhonda, that's great.
Yes. No, let's see. So then the release of pressure when they do what we've asked, it could be a food reward, and then you're kind of leaving them alone while they're eating their food reward or their food, we call it pay. It could be, let's say you're riding and you asked for a trot. You absolutely leave them alone. Like, be as still as you can and don't ask anything else until they go back to a walk. Or you ask for a walk. Fred's mom, you're probably dealing with this now because you're just starting Fred under saddle. When you ask for a walk, don't do anything until Fred comes to a stop. Because otherwise we're nagging. When they get the answer right, we want to leave them alone.
Exactly, and I just went through that today. Exactly, and I haven't caught you up. MaryJo just got home right before this, so we haven't caught up on these events. She's been helping Hannah with wedding invitations, and I had some future donkey owners over, just hanging out with the donkeys, and I did some first touch training with some of our head of the class donkeys from this last herd here. And old number 12, I mean, there's 2 numbers before that, but I just call them by the last 2 digits. 12 and 29 were my target donkeys today. And here, the good deal, I did this today. Okay, we got the 7 or 8 foot long buggy whip. The rope's missing on it, so it's just a long stick. The good deal for number 12 was for me to be able to set the end of that stick on her withers. Okay, and she's like, oh God, I'm scared, I'm gonna die, you're gonna die. But it's a smaller pan, so I keep it on there as she's walking around, and as soon as she'd stop, I'd take it away. So she learned a good deal is just don't walk away. So I got to where I could set that stick on there whenever I wanted to. And if she started walking away from the pressure, I would leave it there. And the second she stopped, I'd take the stick off. And so in my mind, I was giving her a good deal. The good deal is you don't have to burn all these calories. Just let me set the stick there. And then the little side benefit is I'll start scratching her withers with a 7 foot long stick. And she started getting conflicted, and boy, that feels kind of good, but I'm scared. So it was a great day.
Confliction is so great when you're gentling a wild. So great. And we do things so many different ways with the wilds. If they are not hungry at all, then we tend to be using like a long whip to reach out, not to whip them. Okay, let's just
Yeah,
be
it's
clear
a
on
it's a
that.
buggy whip. Like you'd see if you're sitting in the tall seat of a carriage, you get someone's needs to be able to communicate with those horses up front. It's 7 or 8 feet long, and it's got a little rope about this long dangling off of it. Ours has been chewed off, so it's just a long fiberglass stick covered in rope. Um, it's very handy for donkeys who are not interested in any pay. Because there's a time of day you're going to work with them after breakfast, and it's warm and sunny. It's nappy time for everyone, and the last thing they want to do is interact with you.
So then when I'm using that whip, I'm like going around the silhouette of them, and if they flinch, I know that they're nervous, and I wait. I keep it up there, not touching them. I could be 10 feet from them, and I keep it up there until I see some kind of sign of relaxation. So it could be like their eyes blinking, right? Just blink one
How
at
about
a
just
time.
turning in and looking at you?
It depends on how they're looking at me. If it's with nervous energy, I might not be taking it away. But if they're gonna move, I'm gonna take it away, because if they move, I've lost. It's like a game. If you move, I lose. But if they're blinking or their ears start to move around, if they put their head down a tad, take a deep breath, that kind of stuff, I'm watching for relaxation. I'm not touching them. I take away that pressure, right? So I've put this up. There's a scary thought, and then the good deal is I'm going to take it away as soon as they show a sign of relaxation. Even though I could be 10 feet away with the end of the long whip, I could be 10 feet from them, and then you're touching them and taking away the pressure when they stop moving.
Yes.
And then sometimes we're offering food, and will you just come and eat from my hand? So there's more than one way to get the job done.
Yeah, and it's this load of 8 donkeys we're working with right now. They're not all going to be the same.
No.
We might have 2 or 3 that are exactly the same, and 2 or 3 that are like, I've never seen this before, and then the other 2 will be somewhere in the middle. So,
And there's times where because we've done, I don't know, I suppose we're getting close to 40 donkeys that we're gentled or in the process of gentling, wild donkeys. And I'll get to a spot where I'm like, okay, I know that this is my way. Like, this is the cookie cutter, how I'm going to do it. And then a donkey comes along and says, I don't want to go in your cookie cutter.
yeah, we don't participate in the cookie cutter program. I am my own donkey.
So you have to be flexible. So if you notice that your donkey is showing you signs of relaxation, make sure you're giving them breaks at that point, because you're saying you're relaxed and that's how I want you. Our energy when we're offering a good deal and interacting with our donkey, like if let's say a donkey's listening to Dan but not me, that could even be based on the day, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe I come in there and my energy is just poor for this, but Dan's
Yep.
got the right energy, or vice versa. That's going to make a difference. So like if I'm having a bad day, I typically will not go down to the barn. Now this week I told you guys I've taken the week off. It's not because I was having a bad week. I just had a lot to do. Which, guess what? If my mind is thinking about what I need to do up here at the house when my mind should be on the donkeys, I'm not giving them my full attention.
See, life is easier if you're like me. Just be mindless.
So when you're with your donkeys, be fully present, right? Don't be thinking about the laundry you need to do or
Yeah,
chores.
yeah.
Yeah.
I got a donkey story for you.
Tell us.
We had some folks come out today who are in the process of getting approved to take home a couple of donkeys. And so they just want to come out and hang out with the donkeys, which is wonderful. I mean, for us out here, we're in the middle of nowhere in Montana. Strangers are hard to come by.
We do all need to learn from Dan.
So it was great. They came on up here from Billings, and I put them in a pen with some donkeys, and I moved some donkeys around, and they just stood there holding hay for hours, getting them to come up and just being around strangers. And they weren't hungry. The donkeys were kind of boring a day because it was warm and sunny after a big snowstorm, and so they all wanted to take a nap. But this is an interesting observation. Okay. Now we've talked before about we've had donkeys that they won't be cooperative if something is different on the property. Okay. Yeah.
20 acres, anything on 20 acres.
Yeah, the side by side's parked in the wrong spot, or there's a strange car at the neighbor's house a half mile away. Little things like that can make things complicated. Well, today I had to come let Cooper out And I left those folks alone for 5 minutes. Okay. And when I came back, they were all excited because they got mauled. They had two or three different donkeys taking hay out of their hands. They said as soon as I left, the donkeys came in and they seemed to let their guard down and thought that food was really interesting. And I'm like, well, was I insulted? No. I'm like, well, I got to do some detective work here. What's going on? Why would that be? I'm not that big of a jerk, but well, maybe I am. What it was is these donkeys have never worked with more than two people in sight. I was the third person. So it went back to normal. Now there's two humans down in the pens, and the donkeys let their guard down. And these folks, that was the best 10 minutes of their whole visit, was these donkeys were interacting with them. The third person shut them down. So it wasn't a lost day. It's a good process for these donkeys to be three people. Oh my God! Ah! You know what they can do on Thanksgiving when you get 18 people in your backyard, right? So it was just a constant reminder how sentient they are, and they notice these subtle little things. So if you're having a frustrating day with your domestic or wild donkey, and Sugar Cubes is doing it just fine yesterday, but today she's a total picklehead, what's going on? Look around. Is there an extra car in the driveway? Are the kids playing loud music? Is a neighbor have a lawnmower going that wasn't going? There's something something is different.
There was one day I was trying to catch Wild Mustang Stein from the Frankenstein gang, and he didn't want to be caught. I did catch him, but I think I actually went backwards that day. But it was different. There was a new horse in a different spot across the highway.
Yeah, that was
Across the highway. Come on now. Like, you're so silly.
that was Stein, right?
Yeah, that was Stein.
Stein's snorting and cow-eyed. That horse isn't supposed to be there a half mile away. It hamstrung her session that day because, and this is early on. They're not all this sensitive later on.
Stein was reactive when he came here, so we worked him through it. Mountain Built even got to see him because I brought him to the Ty Evans clinic, but he started off being so reactive, and I'm like, normally you're fine with me catching you out in the pasture. Now remember, that's a learned thing. So let's say you have your donkey or your Mustang in your wild pen, and you can catch them just fine. Don't think that you're gonna go put them in a pasture and catch them just fine then too.
Right.
You got to build up to that. Ours will be weird about the neighbors walking the dogs like 1 mile away.
Yes.
So
yes.
true.
Yes. And it will get better over time.
It does.
Yeah.
But they have to learn all these experiences. Rhonda says, I had horses all my life and love donkeys so much more. I think you messaged me on Facebook about that you think you love them more than horses now. Donkeys are so much fun. I love them all. Like, if I wanted to go, well, heck, I'm going to try to do it all on donkeys, you guys. But they all have their purpose and they all have, like, their strengths. But, yeah, I'm going to try to rope. I got a rope now, and I'm going to rope Dan. I think we should make a video on that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. No, I'm gonna try to do it all on donkeys, but they all have their value and their spot, like where they really shine at.
It seems, because I do love them all. If it's got fur, I love to scratch it and pet it and sniff it and all that. I love all the critters. But it does seem, population to population, it does seem a well cared for donkey really gets to be even more affectionate than the other equines.
They like hugs, guys. Donkeys like hugs.
Yeah, they like hugs. I mean, no, Frank the Mustang, you can get him to do a hug, but he's just being compliant.
Yeah, he's not getting
Whereas the donkeys, once they're gentle and they've decided to join the domestic side of humanity, they love them hugs. I mean, how many times
they put their full weight of their head on you. With Honk the Donk, that's a lot. Alyssa says we need to help her work on Jason because she wants her own mammoth donk too.
We've got in the early stages of a mammoth donkey factory going here.
We do. We're making a mammoth army.
Yeah. This spring we're breeding 3 mammoth jennies.
With
Dylan Price has a Jack, who is not Texas Scooter, but I believe the son of Texas Scooter.
Tito is a hugger and absolutely loves it. He was my wild spicy boy too. He'll hug until Freddie breaks up with breaks us up with jealousy. Just drop subtle hints. I like it. Subtle is good. We'll plant the seed.
Yes.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll get all the girls pregnant. Yes, you do need one. You absolutely need one.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, the mammoth donkeys, they put their full weight of their head on you because they just like absorb it. They just love it so much.
And Honk, my mammoth donkey, she is flat out honest, 60 inches, 15 hands at the wither. Her head is the size of most humans' torso.
I think she's as long as my torso.
Yeah, her head is absolutely enormous. And when she comes and puts that on you, you're like, oh, I love you, I love you. Yeah, you. Them heads get heavy, and they love it. And you put your arm around them, you scratch them, and stick your finger in their ear. Yeah, they're great. They're great.
So these new donkeys that we have in the pen, the 8, one of them is spicy. She's always kicking all the other ones. And I sit here thinking, sometimes that spicy one, like Ty Evans tells us that it's that they have nervousness, right? And I also wonder if it's because they're very confident. I was confused when my donkey hugged me. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is Banjo. I didn't know if it was well, heck yeah. I can see where you would be nervous with those first ones.
Yeah. But once you know it's okay, they're really, I like my donkey hugs.
The jealousy. I think that's so funny. They do get jealous. I think that Seamus has tried to he'll try to go in between. Sometimes I even thought he was protecting Calamity. So Calamity Jane is our dog. She's not named Calamity because she is a calamity. She's named after Calamity Jane, who can handle the calamity, right?
But by coincidence, she is a calamity. So.
Yeah, because she kind of is. So sometimes I tie her to me and I'll bring her in the wild pen to clean the pen. And Seamus, when there's other wilds in there, he'll come between Calamity and the wild donkey.
Yeah, Seamus will protect Calamity. Not that he needs to, but he won't. Even in a safe, secure environment, Seamus will keep himself between Calamity and what he perceives as a threat.
It's interesting. And I don't know if he perceives it as a threat or he just wants to be close to me because he'll kind of be like my shadow. Seamus is the donkey I make all of my mistakes on. And I actually posted about him in the Thai masterclass because I'm trying to work out some thoughts in my head to understand donkeys even better, right? So I'll get back to you guys on that once I hear back. I think we're going to do a go live about kids and donkeys once I get my thoughts in order on it.
Kids and donkeys. I'll give you my opinion on kids and donkeys. Donkeys and kids are fine together, but children should not train a donkey. Not little kids. Maybe if it's someone who's old enough to mow the lawn, obviously they can get involved in training. Make sure your donkey's well advanced into its gentling or training process before you throw your 7-year-old grandchild on it at the county fair. Not that the child's in any danger of getting hurt. If that training foundation is not concrete, welded, rebar solid, the child will accidentally undo a lot of training. Yanking and pulling and kicking, it could cause some long-term bad feelings. Seamus went through this with little kids.
And we're going to dive into this more. Let's
Yeah.
see. Do you think that donkeys actually are very forgiving if you have good intentions? I spent a lot of my beginning donkey owning years terrified that I was going to ruin them and make them hate me. I have worried about the same thing.
I've heard the same thing.
So I've had to fix a lot of things with Seamus because of letting the kids ride him and stuff. Like one time I was going riding with 3 kids and 2 of the kids were able to steer. One of them was Seamus. So, well, no, whatever. I had 3 kids and I was ponying one kid and then my 2 boys were riding on their own. But their little friend came over and wanted to ride with us, so I was going to have him ride with Seamus. And I got I can't talk. I got Seamus saddled up first, put him in the dry lot, and let him try to get Seamus to go forward and stuff, which he goes forward fine for me and for Hannah. Can you guys still hear me? Hannah texted me, so hopefully we didn't lose sound. Let me know if you guys can hear me still. Can you guys still hear me? Oh, good. Yay. Okay. So I put the kid in the dry lot with Seamus and let him use the bat to get Seamus to move. And then I ponied him because the kid wasn't ready to ride. And
The bat, the riding little leather thing, not a wiffle ball bat.
yeah, hopefully, if you guys don't know, so a bat has it's a little leather thing with a flapper on it, so it makes noise. Well, the next time I rode Seamus after that, it took like a half hour, 45 minutes to go like 2/10 of a mile. All he would do was go into the ditch, and then he refused to come out. It didn't matter if I kicked or did anything. I had to pull so hard I had a blister on my hand. I got him to go to my destination, but it just did not work well. So I've had so many scenarios that I've had to fix with Seamus afterwards, and I'm still just trying to figure it out. Yes, I think they forgive, but when I go fix something, he's really going to tell me how he felt about what happened before.
So, you know, from a donkey's perspective, they don't necessarily see the child as mean or vindictive. They're gonna be like, well, last time I was in a scenario with this bit at this arena, I was getting kicked and yanked on, and they can get a little sour about that. They'll get over it.
I kind of wonder if a donkey doesn't separate by person. Like you see where a kid is riding a horse and they won't do what they're supposed to, and then mom or dad gets on and the horse does exactly what they're supposed to. I feel like the donkey says, "Oh no, we're gonna have to work through all of this right now." So I'm gonna research more on this, try to get my feelings more like thought out, and then we will do a go live later on about kids and donkeys. Because
Right.
I do think it works just fine sometimes, but I have had experiences where it didn't.
Right.
So, guys, I want to thank you all again for like all your memberships and watching and commenting and sharing all of this and being just participating. We so appreciate you.
Yeah, just thanks for being here. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for your support. We really do appreciate it.
We'll be back tomorrow at 6:30, guys.
All right. Have a good night, guys.
Thanks for watching.